Hello, everyone. I'm Tammy McBride. Welcome to the Virtual STEM Showcase Education Connection Highlight. We are taking the opportunity to interview people from the educational and professional sectors around the region that directly connect to STEM and give you a few ideas about your projects. Today, I have Mark Ross Kondo, business and technology educator, Teals classroom instructor at Quincy High School, and Ross has three of his computer science students with him joining us today. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good.
We're good.
Good. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a couple questions if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So first of all, I would like for everyone to go around and introduce yourselves.
My name is Katelyn Nungaray. I am an 11th grader, and my favorite video game has to be Rust on PC.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Smith, and I am also an 11th grader. My favorite video game at the moment is probably Stardew Valley on console.
Okay.
My name is Miguel Navarro. I'm a senior, and my favorite game would have to be World of Warcraft.
Mark, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure. Yep. So I'm Mr. Kondo, Quincy High School, and I don't play a lot of games. I'm starting to follow Rocket League just because we have some kids starting to play that in the esports, but I am also learning about gaming these days.
Awesome. Great. So what do you guys enjoy learning most about computer science in your class?
So the most important, or what I like learning the most myself would have to be the different languages. I've been learning since I was a kid, and I like picking up different languages because it just helps me expand my creativity. And I feel like picking up all the different knowledge really helps me expand my creativity when I'm creating new games or I'm creating a new project. So I really enjoy it just because it lets me expand more on what I'm working on.
So I really enjoy learning the languages in computer science. I am currently in Intro to Computer Science, so far I only know Python, but I'm looking forward to learning more so I can also expand my creativity.
I like how no matter what project it is, you can find basically anyone to help out. Doesn't matter the language that they have. And it's also really nice because I don't think there's anything that can really get in the way of making a project because there are so many options and roads to go down, and everyone's going to have a different road. So,
Yeah, for sure. So my next question, are you guys planning on taking any more advanced courses? And if so, in what area? And then also, I know, Miguel, you are a senior. I guess maybe deep dive, are you going to be what's your plan after high school? Like, are you going to keep going into more advanced courses into computer science? What does that look like for each of you?
So since I am a senior, I am looking at universities, and I so far have decided to pursue computer science, but I want to do it in a teaching position. So I would prefer to teach at a college level or high school level and teach people about computer science. And that's my plan so far. I don't think it's going to change, but that's kind of the idea. I am also interested in like software development, but I am leaning more towards the teaching computer science at a college level.
Very cool. What about the other two?
So I am only in Intro to Computer Science right now, but I am enrolled for AP Computer Science next year so I could learn more, and hopefully after that, seeing as I'd be a senior, I'd also want to look into universities that I can major in computer science with.
this year, right now, I'm enrolled in AP Computer Science, and next year, I'm taking a class where I will be designing my own video game with two other friends of mine. And we are working on that currently right now, making up ideas on what we want to make the whole video game based on. But I don't know for college yet if I want to go in for video game design or mixing computer science and health.
That's super cool. That's awesome. So just really quick, how did you get interested into computer science? Each of you, how did that, what sparked you?
I've been surrounded by computers ever since I was a kid. I was always fascinated by the idea of what's happening inside a computer. And then I never really thought building computers was for me. So then I found out about computer science. I took I learned mostly by myself, taught myself computer science or Java, and then that really interested me. And I took other classes and I kept learning, and I just kept getting more interested in as I learned more languages. And so it was just the idea of what's happening in the background that got me super interested and made me fall in love with computer science.
Mhm.
When I was a younger kid, I always had a fascination with video games, and I always wanted to learn more about them so I could like maybe one day create my own. But once I got into high school, that's when I started like thinking more about other career paths I could take with computer science because it wasn't just video games that I wanted to do. I also wanted to like maybe look into software development and see what other projects I could do with that. So that's when I really started getting interested in computer science was when I was younger and was playing a lot of video games.
Sure.
I got interested in middle school when my brother was in high school. He would always talk about wanting to join computer science classes at the high school. And I thought it was really interesting because I saw like the look in his face that it gave him, how he was so excited to learn about it. And then he started building PCs, and my other brother did too, which made me really fascinated because I got to see all these parts built together. So after that, I was like, maybe computer science isn't that bad. Maybe I want to try it out.
Um, really quick, Mr. Kondo, what inspired you to teach computer science or any?
Yeah. So I guess before we had computer science, the teacher left. I'm a business and marketing major is my background, but then our technology teacher left, and they said, "Do you want to try it?" And this was back early 2000s, and right, technology was getting pretty big. So I was a little bit interested. So I was like, "Yeah, it sounds like a fun challenge. The kids are getting into it." So that kind of kicked me off. And then as technology started increasing, speeding up, computer science came around, and being rural out in Quincy, we want to give our kids the best opportunity to experience their education, career, and so we want them not to be behind because they're out here. So that was one thing that kicked us off, and then we got connected with the Teals program, where we could have software engineers in the real world come into our classroom and help us out. So that kind of gave me the confidence to be like, all right, I don't know anything about this, but these professionals will help us out. And our kids from there, once we first got started, they just kept saying, all right, what's next? What's next? What's next? As these guys are, Miguel is in the project management class, and they have made the highest level video game that we've been able to create here. And then our next group, Katie over there, they're already planning, like they're already a step ahead, like they're junior year thinking about this. And so anyways, these guys have driven me to try to create more and do better. And so totally for the kids. So,
Awesome. So what is one thing that you guys wish more people understood about computer science now that you have been taking some classes and have been around it for a while? Is there anything that you wish that people understood more?
Yeah, so computer science, personally, I think is a huge leap of faith. It is something that I know a ton of people would think they're not interested in, but it's something I just say you have to try because I at first was kind of iffy about it because I was like, this is just numbers and letters. Why would I want to do this? And then I fell in love with it. So it's one of those things where you might not think you like it, but you should still give it a try because you never know. it could be something you fall in love with, because there's so many things that are involved with computer science. It's not just about the coding; it's also or about making the projects that come with it. It's all about creativity because that's the limit. It's what you can make with your ideas. So just try it. That'd be what I want people to know that because I know a lot of people are putting it off.
Yeah, for sure.
So after being an intro to computer science, I kind of went into it expecting that this class would be a lot of math. And I like math, but a lot of other students, they want to like work with computer science, but they don't like math. And I just wish that more people understood that it's not just math, like there's a lot of creativity involved in it. And I learned that and it was really fun when I found that out, like really.
I wish people knew going into computer science that they need to have a lot of patience because there will be a lot of trial and error, and there will be times where you get stumped and you will have to do research and ask other people question and advice on where you messed up and what's going wrong and what's the next step to take. And then it's also like computer science, you have to specify everything and you have to make sure that you do not miss one bracket out or else it could throw the entire thing off. So you just need a lot of patience for it.
Sure, for sure. So I think we've mentioned coding maybe once in this, but I have to ask: have you guys been coding, all three of you, or any of you code? And okay, so if so, what part of coding projects do you enjoy most about?
It would definitely have to be the learning about the different types of code needed, because sometimes some of the stuff that looks like it's going to be the easiest is actually the most intricate, and it really requires a lot of thought and time and dedication. So it would have to be learning just because. So sometimes it could be fun, sometimes it can be kind of a pain because it's really hard to understand, but it is enjoyable at least to learn and start being able to understand how something's working.
I would say my favorite part of a coding assignment is probably when I'm trying really, really hard to get this one thing and I try over and over again and it doesn't work, but then I figure it out. That's my favorite part, is because when I figure it out, I'm just like, yes!
I have to agree with her, the aha moments. Also, really, the parts that I really find enjoyable and funny are where I miss the one bracket and I'm stressing because I don't know what's going wrong. But the moments where I finally understand and it finally like clicks in me and I finally get my final product that I was waiting for.
So I have to ask: has there been ever anything that you don't name names, but has there been like a web page that you've been on and you were like, "Gosh, I could do this function way better," or "I could make this app or this design." Like for my smart device, like way better, or is there anything that you ever catch yourself thinking in that sort of sense?
Sometimes.
um has there been something that you were like, oh my gosh, I want to redesign that or anything?
Uh, Definitely, I'd say yes, 100%. After I've made some things myself, but then I always take a step back because I know now that I've made like apps, web pages, all that, I know how hard it is. So I tend to not like trash on other people's work saying it could be better because it could be better, but I'm not going to put the time in it. So I'm just going to accept whatever's out there.
So just one more quick question about coding, just because I think it's just so fascinating. Like, how would you explain the thinking process to other people when they ask about like what kind of projects or what are you working on currently if it is a coding project? What does that look like? And yeah, how do you explain something like that?
I guess in a way, I've had this conversation with my biology teacher actually. We were talking about something with the human body, or not the human body, but about cells. And we were having a conversation, and I related it to computer science automatically because that's just how I think. And the teacher was very confused. But then I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that's when I just realized, hey, computer science is based off of, it was created by humans. So that is something, like, one way you can explain it is like, you could try explaining it in ways that other people would understand in a way like a biology teacher, for instance. You could explain it like the way cells work, or how the codes in the DNA works is similar to certain codes in other languages, like for computers.
So I do have to ask, is there computer science in your future? I know, Miguel, you said that you are advancing into college to pursue teaching in computer science. And I know that a few of you are taking a few more classes. If so, what do you want to do with those skills that you've been building? Like, do you see yourself, for instance, like creating video game design, and that's what you really want to go into and pursue a job in? Or, what does your guys' future look like in computer science? I'm just curious.
Well, with me, I really do want to pursue college and pursue like major in computer science. And I want to become maybe like a software developer. I'm still kind of learning what exactly that means and like what exactly software developers do. However, I do also kind of want to create a video game that people could probably use as like an escape from the real world for a little bit, because that's something I think a lot of people our age have kind of relied on sometimes.
Mhm.
For me, I want to, in the future, work on advancing technology in medicine, being able to make it, I don't know, maybe like a bit easier and more reliable than what it is now.
Very cool. I think that's very important as well. Um, what is unexpected about computer science?
The one thing that was unexpected for me is how it needs every single little step. Like, you need to explain it thoroughly and make sure that you do not miss a step, or else everything could go haywire.
Mhm.
I would have to agree with Katie on that. I'd say another thing that I thought was really unexpected was just how into it I was going to be. I just really like what I'm learning right now, and I hope that I can keep doing it.
Mhm.
Uh, what I didn't expect a lot was a lot of it is shared. So the languages are Java is shared a lot through a lot of things. So it's very interchangeable, not interchangeable exactly, but a lot of this stuff does carry over and share over. So building, I didn't expect that building a foundation would actually help you as much as it did for me. I just assumed you could just jump in anywhere and it'd be super easy. But coming in with that knowledge beforehand does help a insane amount.
Mhm. Mhm. So what advice would you give other students that have an interest in computer science or STEM who are listening in on this interview today?
Definitely give it that leap of faith. Like I said, it's one of those things where even if it's a small interest, try it because you never know, you might like it. It's one of those opportunities that's being offered. That's not it's not for everyone. I won't say it is for everyone, but if it is for you, I feel like it could really help you expand your creativity. Just because there is no limit to what you can do other than what you can think of.
I would say if you do go for it, which you should, if you do go for computer science, do not be discouraged when you make a mistake, because everyone makes mistakes, especially with things as thorough as computer science.
I would say don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to just start over. If you felt like what you were doing wasn't the right path, there are multiple other ways that you could code something. So don't be afraid to try out different things.
That's awesome. Great advice, all. Well, I think that is it for today's episode. Don't forget to submit all of your work or your individual or group projects for a chance to win cash prizes. All projects must be submitted by Friday, May 6th. Thank you, Katie and Rebecca and Miguel and Mr. Kondo, so much for joining me today and answering some of the questions that I had for you. And thank you all for listening in on today's episode, and have a great day.
Thanks, Tammy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.